Coronavirus. What does Dr. Fauci recommend? Now I'm going to talk about strengthening your immune system. Let's keep this in mind. Here we are in December of 2020, and we've heard this so many times this year. The people that are getting more serious illness and succumbing to coronavirus, the vast majority of people have comorbidities, as it's called, or in other words, they already have a chronic problem or chronic disease. These chronic problems and chronic diseases decrease your immune system's ability and response. So when you get exposed to a virus, it can be a cold virus, a flu virus, a seasonal flu virus, or in this case, COVID-19, another virus, and so forth. And a lot of flu viruses are coronaviruses. Anytime you get exposed to that, and you already have a chronic disease, your immune system can't mount the best defense it can. And that's why 2 years ago, which nobody ever knew about until now, 80,000 people in the United States died of seasonal flu, and we didn't react to that, more on that in other shows. We had 800,000 hospitalizations 2 years ago for the seasonal flu, and 40 or 50 million people got sick. But we know again, and even Dr. Fauci said this, more on this in a moment, people with chronic illnesses have more severe disease and more chance of succumbing to COVID-19. So what does Dr. Fauci recommend? And this is out of an article, an interview that he had on Business Insider. The article was written by Hillary Brusick. The date of it is September 17th of 2020. The title of the article, Fauci says the 3 best things to keep your immune system working optimally cost nothing. So this is before the vaccine came out. Listen now, for the general public, he recommends getting enough sleep, maintaining a healthy diet, and avoiding or alleviating stress as the 3 most potent ways to keep your immune system strong. I think that should be on the headline news every hour by every news outlet as the best defensive mechanism. Not masks. I'm not saying not to wear masks, but it's not masks. It's not socially distancing. I'm not saying don't do that either. These are good ideas too. The 3 most potent ways to keep your immune system strong, says the infectious disease leader in this country, Dr. Anthony Fauci. He says they cost nothing, and here they are: get enough sleep, maintain a healthy diet, and avoiding or alleviating stress. Now, if one of you get Dr. Fauci to come on with an interview with me, I'm going to think that if we step up our game, there's a few more things that can make your immune system even stronger and reduce our chance of chronic disease. The things we're talking about now, hopefully one of the things that will spin out of COVID-19 is we will realize we have a nation in the United States, and in other nations as well, but particularly the United States. We have a nation full of people that have chronic illnesses and diseases, and the vast bulk of them, a vast majority of these diseases are preventable, and even most of the folks with them can be improved, and that chronic disease can be better managed with lifestyle and even gone, eliminated with lifestyle. We're talking heart disease and strokes and heart attacks. We're talking cancer. Most cancers are preventable. It's not caused by bad genes. Diabetes, particularly type 2 diabetes. Alzheimer's, dementia, I've done shows on that is a preventable thing, and you can improve it with lifestyle changes. I'm imagining that I'm hoping that one of the beautiful things that can come out of COVID-19 is we're going to really work on these things. Again, unfortunately, it doesn't make anybody any money because there's no prescription, there's no pill to correct these things. It's lifestyle changes that we have to do as individuals. Here's the next thing. Dr. Fauci does this for himself. He takes 2 supplements. Maybe he takes more, but these are the 2 that he's talked about. When we don't get out in the sun a lot, they're deficient in vitamin D, so my vitamin D level was low. His vitamin D level was low, says Dr. Fauci. I started taking vitamin D supplements, and now my vitamin D level is normal. This is the important thing. Listen to me. Follow this now. Follow this. We know from many scientific studies that being deficient in vitamin D can put you at greater risk of infection. And that finding has held true and again during the coronavirus pandemic. He is saying if your vitamin D level is low, and most people are low, and most people that I test in my office, and most people, if I look at their vitamin D tests from prior blood tests, they're low. Dr. Fauci said, we know from many scientific studies that being deficient in vitamin D can put you at a greater risk of infection, and that finding has held true again during the coronavirus pandemic. So vitamin D is like, 3 cents per person per day. Why aren't we doing that? Why isn't it just handed out everywhere you go? Kind of like way better than hand sanitizer, way better than giving people masks. Here's some hand sanitizer, which arguably is actually a problem because it dries out your skin and makes you more susceptible, but anyway. And all the harsh chemicals and all the ones that were taken off the market because there was all these harsh chemicals and so on. And even better than handing out masks, handing out vitamin D supplements, right, to people at appropriate amounts. Here's the levels. Dr. Fauci takes 6,000 international units himself per day. And then he says, I take vitamin C, and he takes 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day. He wouldn't say this on an interview if he didn't think it was important. And he wouldn't do it himself, I don't think, if he didn't think that was important. Now, let's step up our game. Okay, Dr. Fauci, you said better sleep, reduce stress, eat a healthy diet. If I was to ask him, what do you think about exercise? Do you think that would be a good thing? I'm sure he would say, I'm thinking he would say, yeah, that's good for the immune system too. And if I said, taking care of your spine, would taking care of your spine have an effect with the immune system? He'd probably say, yeah, that's a good idea as well. What about exercise? So regular exercise as we talked about. So I think if we asked him about these things, he said he would think that, yeah, we could step up our game. And of course, if we add healthy supplements in there and taking care of our spine and regular exercise into this program, we're going to, again, reduce the chronic disease rates in people, which is going to improve immune system function and reduce risks of any viruses that are out there that are always out and around us all the time. Stepping up our game, here we go. Here's the 6 things. Clean, healthy nutrition. I've chosen it. I think most people know what to do. Exercise. Now remember my exercise prescription. My exercise prescription to you is as follows. Only exercise on the days that you eat. Only exercise on the days that you eat. And by the way, of course, check with your doctor before you just start exercising if it's been a while, right? Check with your doctor. Reducing stress, we've done programs on that. Getting appropriate and regular sleep. Taking care of your spine and nervous system. And healthy supplements. There are other supplements on top of vitamin D and C. We've talked about zinc. I've talked about magnesium. I've talked about omega-3 fish oils. We've talked about antioxidant blends. We've talked about curcumin and turmeric supplements. We've talked about resveratrol, and the list goes on. Hopefully this will be a good spin on COVID-19 moving forward, that we as a nation, we as a world, will work on